Oh. Okay, good morning, everyone. I switched into Tracy's office. Not sure what is going on with the laptop today. Good morning. Again, my name is Victoria Rodriguez. I'm the Executive Director of the Hispanic Contractors Association. Tracy Burns is our Assistant Director. She's with me here. You want to see the laptop? Maybe if you can jump back on. I just wanted to take a moment and recognize we have some board members that are in our attendees today. Daniel Salinas with Central Builders, he is our president. Estela Garcia Perez, she's with Fairway Landscape and Nursery. She's our vice president. And we also have a former president, Larry Ibarra, with Service Shade. So thank y'all for being a part of this. I want to make sure we recognize our corporate sponsors. At our platinum level, we have HEB, Via Metropolitan, Central Builders Incorporated, Turner Construction, and Equipment Share. At our silver level, we have Bartlett Cock, CPS Energy, JSR, Robinson General Contractors, Skanska USA, and Joris General Contractors. And at our bronze level, we have Zachary Construction, Weber, RDR Flooring Services, Vaughn Construction, Frost Bank, D. Wilson Construction Company, The Blue Book, and Dawson Electric. Thank you so much for your support. And then we'll get to our presentation now. To just welcome Bruce Williams. He's manager of the Hub Program and e-procurement systems at UTSA. Welcome, Bruce. I think he just muted. He's here. And then we have Jeremy Miller, is it, Jeremy?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Jeremy Miller, and he is with Whiting Turner. He'll be giving the presentation. So welcome to you both. Thank you so much, and I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. Bruce, did you have anything you wanted to add since you were on mute?
Oh, can you hear me now? I apologize. I just wanted to say good morning to everybody, and thank you for attending this event. We are excited and ready to get started on this project. This is going to be an amazing project, and we want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to bid, be a part of, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me, and I will coordinate meetings with Jeremy so that we can sit down and talk over the different opportunities that are going to come available. But with that said, I'll hand it over to Jeremy. Thank you for the 5 seconds.
Not a problem. Not a problem. So like they say, guys, I'm Jeremy Miller. I'm going to be one of the project managers on this project. The project we're going to be discussing today is the UTSA, SDS, and SCC. It'll be located near their downtown campus, but actually not a part of the downtown campus. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and kind of tell you a little bit about Whiting Turner. For those of you that don't know who we are, our mission statement that we kind of live by here is the mission of Whiting Turner is to build on our reputation for integrity, excellence, experience, and leadership as the nation's finest construction organization by continuously improving our quality of work and service, constantly striving to exceed client expectations, maintaining our dedication to the highest moral principles, and then providing our people with a challenging, secure, and safe environment in which to achieve personal career goals. So that kind of gives you, our mission of what we try to stand for, what we try to do, not only in the office, but in the field, headquarters and all. So kind of one of those things of who are we? So we've been around a few years, 111 to be exact, 5A rating on Dun & Bradstreet. We've not borrowed any money since 1938. And we've got the ability to go bond up to $4 billion. In terms of our services of what we offer, construction management, general contracting, design build, which is what this will be, and then integrated project delivery. So, like I mentioned, this project, is a work in progress still. And I know some of you may have reached out to us and, we've said, we're just not quite there yet. Just bear with us, right? We're still in that designing part to try to get out there where we can build this thing. Where do we work? So if you look at Texas alone, right, we have 5 different offices at San Antonio, Austin, Houston, Plano, and Dallas, Fort Worth area. So we've pretty much got Texas covered. We've got 50 plus offices that we recognize and 4,100 plus employees nationwide. In terms of our services to the higher education folks, right, we have 78% repeat clients. And you can kind of see all these different names down there. University of Texas at Austin is down there at the bottom. Done several projects over there with them in the Austin area, and kind of how we got connected with our UTSA folks over here in San Antonio. So once again, we've got over 165 clients. So like I said, I could be here and list a bunch of them inside of Texas. We've done some for the UT program. We've done some for Texas Tech, done some for Sam Houston State, done some others up in the Dallas area, and then also Texas A&M. See where our rankings are by university contractors, by the BDNC. We were second. Education contractors by ENR, we were third. And third in green education contractors by ENR. So you'll see here, we've got 106 years in the higher education. So we've been around 111. So pretty much all those years, right? We've been touching higher education. We have $13 billion plus completed in higher education projects, and 50 million plus square feet completed of higher education projects in the last 10 years alone. So no stranger to the higher education world. Some of our projects that you all might have visited or been to, and wonder who's done that. Right, we've got the Texas Tech Honors Dorm, which I had mentioned earlier that we had done some work with them. You can see some of the other schools that are out of state going across there as well. Here's just a few more of them. Texas A&M Galveston, which we had mentioned, Baylor, and then some more of them out of state. San Angelo State, you'll see there's up in the top left, and then a few others. Baylor University, once again, down there in the bottom right. So signature projects within Texas, we have the UT System Army Futures Command, Baylor Scott and White over in Marble Falls, IBM office renovations up in the Austin area. Here's a picture of the Baylor Scott and White over in the Austin area. Actually just completed this project about 2 years ago. So it's a fairly new facility. You'll see up in the top left-hand corner, Elephant Springs. So this was up in the Dallas Zoo, redoing their elephant habitat. And it was a pretty interesting project to see that one come from the start all the way to the finish. You'll see the radiation oncology phase 2 over there on the top right, and then the South Campus projects as well. Any of you that have been up in the Dallas area may have seen these buildings. Ventana by Buckner. This was actually just recently completed here in the last probably 8-9 months. Pretty big project, pretty in-depth scope. Energy Squared was another one up there, kind of going around occupied buildings. So it had some challenges to it, but it was pretty neat to see that one come to fruition as well. Highland Park Village, pretty neat project. You know, not as elaborate in some of the finishes, but trying to keep the older feel in terms of the architecture was quite challenging to see it all kind of come together as well. Erickson Living, this is a senior development. We've done a couple projects out there with them, so you might see us out on those projects. Landry's Downtown Aquarium Tiger Exhibit. Once again, this was kind of going on at the same time as the zoo exhibit up in Dallas. So it was kind of interesting to have both of those going, and seeing both of those now. It is quite interesting. The Villa Sports Center over in the Katy area. Pretty neat project. You get to cool down every once in a while with a pool. And then San Jacinto Community College, building 7, 8, 9, and 10. You can see, you know, once again, higher education projects that we get to do throughout the state of Texas. And then the Toyota Center over in the Houston area, did some renovations for them, kind of making it a little bit more upscale in some areas, just so that they could keep up with the times, kind of thing. But let's go ahead and get started in this project, right? Let's bring it to San Antonio, the UTSA, SDS, and SCC. You'll see this is a 6-story building that will be cast in place. Got lots of glass, got a little bit of masonry going around. Anywhere that you don't see that clear story with the UTSA logo, right, you'll have that band of masonry going all the way around. You'll notice the little limestone building down there kind of blocked by some trees. That goes into what we call our multi-purpose room. And then everything that you see gray is actually metal panels. So it'll be a little bit of a challenge to get all those things to come together, right? But at the same time, it's got the ability to try to engage, as you can see in the bottom, the water level. That is the new San Pedro Creek, which we will be immediately adjacent to, and trying to engage that creek with the building to try to give it a little bit more of a nature-like feel. So, as I mentioned, being immediately next to the creek brings its own challenges. You can kind of see our site logistics plan. So we will have part of De La Rosa closed. We'll bring trucks in through De La Rosa at the very beginning, exiting out through Nueva. We're going to try to office, somewhere right here next to it. But this is basically the building footprint that you see right here. So it will be a tight site, but I don't think anybody on this call has built anything in downtown without that happening. It's just the nature of the beast down there. Here's kind of another look from Nueva as well, kind of give you a perspective of, how big that area actually is. So you'll actually see right here, we will have a buck hoist, and we will have the tower crane as well. So we'll have 2 pieces of equipment there. This is just a shot from the De La Rosa side. So like I mentioned, the project's going to be 6 stories cast in place. Most of all the areas are offices and open collaboration areas. So this project is going to be in conjunction with some other partners and clients with UTSA. So there will be some spaces that are leased out to those individuals. And then you will have, all your research personnel and students within the other parts of the building. Total building square footage is going to be just over 165,000 square feet. In terms of some dates, so December is anticipated notice to proceed at this point. We would look to start breaking ground probably around the middle of December. At that time, we would top out as our goal around July 2021. And then in July 2022, we're handing this over to the customer for them to move in and start the fall semester of 2022 in this building. And I'll leave this slide up there for just a few minutes if anybody needs to take down any of the email contacts. Once again, I'm Jeremy Miller down there on the bottom left. You may hear from Justin Lehman as well, another project manager, or Randy Dupree, as we're trying to get this thing kicked off. Currently in the field, you'll see Mark Rutland is listed as our lead superintendent. We will have a few others underneath that. Those just have not been fully selected at this time. Vice president that runs our whole San Antonio operations is Serena Davis, listed up there in the top left. So either one of those two contacts up the top left or top right, if you ever needed to get a hold of them for any reason, they can point you definitely in the right direction. But don't hesitate to reach out to any of the other three, as we're very heavily involved in this project as well.
Awesome.
So project team, as I mentioned, it's a design build project. So UTSA holds a contract with us. We hold a contract with Jacobs, which Jacobs holds a contract with Overland. So Overland is doing the initial design. Jacobs is becoming the architect once design initially is finished. And then we work hand in hand with Jacobs as we go throughout this progress or this project. And going past this, we're going to go kind of division by division, showing you kind of what it's not a full inclusive, right? But I tried to put down as much as I could of certain things within the project that we'll be either buying out, procuring, or whatnot, or we may have subs procuring that. So you'll see on here, final clean, tent fence, sanitary facilities, storage connexes, duct hoist, tower cranes, scaffold, dumpsters, barricade rentals, and SWIP. So scaffold, we haven't made a decision on that one yet, but looking at possibly scaffolding the building and then having trades utilize it versus having 4 different people scaffold this building and taking up time in the schedule.
Jeremy, a question has come in as to what bidding system does your company use, and do they have to register? If so, can you provide us that information so that we can send it out to the group?
Okay, was that bidding? Is that what you asked for?
Uh-huh.
So bidding is all done through Building Connected. So in the event, you will see for our trade packages, right, we will list those in the papers when they will go out for bid, when the bids are due, and it will have a contact on there at that time to contact. Once you contact, it would be myself or Justin or Randy, one of those 3. Once you contact us, we will then add you to the bid list, and you will have access to all the drawings, all the addendums, all the anything and everything, site logistics that we might be bidding out for that specific division.
Okay, perfect. I'm not sure. Yeah, that should have answered the question. If anybody has any additional questions, please put them in the questions and answers below, and we'll get them answered for you.
So if I understood that, Jeremy, it's essentially contact you and you or Justin.
Correct.
To show their interest, and then you'll put them on the necessary list and get all that situated.
Correct.
Okay.
All right.
You were on the scaffold. You were talking about.
Yeah, I was. I was trying to see. Am I able to see their questions as well when they come in?
You might. It is under the Q&A tab. But I would say if you're trying to, we'll stay on top of it and we can read them too.
I just don't see that little tab for me to click on. So
at the bottom of your screen, it just says Q&A. 2 little. You should be able to see it.
It's on the same line. If you muted or started your video, it's that same.
Yeah.
are, but we'll help you out too, because I know
Okay.
you're in the middle of it. Okay.
Not a problem. Just didn't want to skip over anybody. So, all right, guys, we'll go into the next division, which is Division 3. So Division 3, like I said, this is a cast in place garage. So there's lots and lots of concrete. We will have one area that has 2 PT beams. So those 2 PT beams will be spanning about 60 feet across. And that's in that multi-purpose room. We're trying to keep columns out of the middle of the room. But, you know, we've got housekeeping pads, recessed slabs. There will be a CPS vault that we're going to have to cast in place as well. We can't find anything big enough. It's about 20 by 40. So it's a pretty decent sized vault. Once again, there's grade beams, slab on metal deck, slab on grade. You'll have the tables to do the cast in place on levels 1 through 6. The foundations, and then drilled piers. So it looks like most of these piers will have to be cased as well. So just another wrench in the system there. Division 4, we kind of talked about it. There's going to be some CMU walls in the interior parts of the building going around the back of house areas. Masonry brick, that was that red brick kind of strip that I showed you going all the way around the building. And then limestone looters over there in front of that multi-purpose room. So that'll be pretty much all the masonry scope there.
Jeremy, will you be covering at some point like the qualification process for companies that want to bid?
So I can kind of go through that.
If it's coming up later, that's fine. They were just, someone had asked, so.
No, so in terms of qualifications, I guess what is their question in terms of qualifications? Is it insurance? Is it the ability to be bonded? You know, that's.
I would imagine if you could maybe touch on an overview of what
Okay.
qualifications are required, and then they can maybe follow up with ask a follow-up question.
So in terms of, we ask the ability to, if we so choose, right, is the ability to be bonded, and those are usually subcontracts in an amount greater than $500,000. If we're looking at just insurance, really the one that gets most everybody is the umbrella. Is we carry a minimum of $1 million umbrella for each subcontractor, and that is up to about $75,000. Once you kind of cross that threshold, we ask that you have a $5 million umbrella. And then the other, if you've got those umbrellas, pretty much all the other items that we include in terms of insurance are pretty much in line at that point. They just kind of follow each other.
But those are the main monetary, I guess,
Correct.
hurdles. Okay.
Correct. And we want you to be in good standing, you know, not have any liens up against you or anything like that as well, which I'm sure that's what, you know, UTSA would want as well.
Do you give any preference or look at all at the certifications that they have? If
Yes, we do. I mean,
okay.
We do have, and Bruce is on the phone, if you elaborate on it, but our goal out here, right, is 21.1% hub across the whole district.
Okay.
You know, yes, we look at the SBEs, WBEs, and those certifications right all the way across the board, minority. But in terms of this project, the requirement is mainly placed on the hub part of it as well.
Okay. Okay. All right.
That is correct. It's a 21.1% goal on this project. And that spans over all the project in total outside of architecture and engineering.
Good to know. Good. Go ahead. Yes.
So going into Division 5, so on Division 5, we will have quite a bit of miscellaneous steel. There's going to be steel lintels. There's going to be parapet framing. There's going to be some framing for equipment up on the roof. The stairs, the elevator steel, the operable partition steel. There's going to be, like I said, the mechanical platforms, roof framing, storefront steel, door steel, and then your roof ladders as well. So quite a bit of steel across the project. There's even talks about going into a little bit more steel on the 5th and 6th levels, and transferring from cast in place to steel possibly, which may open this up to, you know, being even a bigger package. That hasn't been solidified yet. That's just things that have been, you know, talked about. In terms of millwork and rough carpentry, right, we're going to have in-wall blocking for the handrails, for the art walls. There's going to be, you know, plywood up on the IDF, MDF rooms to mount all their equipment. There's some millwork. There's some solid surface counters. There's going to be some wood veneer walls, and then there's an amphitheater that they want to put down on the bottom level, going in between the grand stair stringers, and that would be wrapped in wood veneer as well. Biggest thing on all of this, right, is we are also trying to chase lead. Don't know that's going to, you know, go into full fruition, but in the event that we do go after it, one of the requirements would be that you have to track this thing for FSC, which is just it's a lot of paperwork, but that's part of it, trying to get that lead point. Going into Division 7, so you're going to have the metal panels, like I mentioned. You're going to have waterproofing behind those. There's going to be about 6 to 7 showers within the building, so you're going to have waterproofing in those. The elevator pits also have the waterproofing building envelope. Right, there's a lot of waterproofing around the whole building. The sealants on the interior, the site sealants, termite treatments, rigid insulation. We are looking to go with a PVC roofing. There's some talks, you know, do we go to a TPO or do we do a mod bit? But right now, I think we're going to stick with the PVC. There will be some standing seam metal roof, the building metal panels, the mechanical equipment will have a screen around it, perforated screen, which will be metal panels as well. And then you'll have interior caulking, fire caulking, and smoke caulking as well. Division 8, there is lots and lots of doors. So wood doors, hollow metal frames, hollow metal doors as well in the back of the house, request exit devices, electric strikes, auto openers. There will be lots of storefront interior glazing, storefront doors. You saw the curtain wall there on the corners with SSG. There's some curtain wall up at the very top, what we call the clear story, to offer some building in the center, or light in the center of the building. That'll be capture curtain wall. You saw the punched openings. There's glass railings for the stairs and for some of the balcony and terraces. Stainless steel handrails on those glass handrails. Cable guardrails, clear story glazing, and then also the smoke barrier, which will be around some of the staircases, which is required by code. Going into Division 9. So y'all will see some of the stuff on here. It's not just going to be your regular framing job, guys. There's a lot of STC rated walls, structural studs on the exterior. There's some parts of this that will have walls that have a combination of RF film and wire mesh to make them a secured wall. ACT ceilings, Tectum panels for ceilings, cloud ceilings, metal mesh ceilings, wood ceilings, drywall, of course. There will be a couple warm white shell spaces wall tile, floor tile, polished concrete, sealed concrete. There would be one area that's got a raised access floor, carpet. Down on the bottom story, we're going to do thin set terrazzo, and then paint, privacy film, and wall graphics. So it will be very heavy in the finishes throughout this whole building. And then Division 10, kind of our specialties, right? There's going to be your code signage, your building signage. We talked about operable partitions, so there's going to be 4 different ones, 2 of them on level 1, 1 on level 2, 1 on level 5. All of those at this time are manual operated, no electric operated ones. We've got about 3 or 4 rolling coiling doors throughout the space. Entrance mats, protection screens, toilet partitions, restroom accessories, marker boards. There's also fixed marker boards and mobile marker boards, fabric tack boards that are at each level, and then fire extinguishers and cabinets throughout the project.
Can I ask real quick, Jeremy? I'm just thinking of this as the COVID and all of this has happened. Has this project changed in terms of preparing for those scenarios, and did you have to add to it based on?
So at Whiting Turner, right, we had implemented 100% mask across all employees. We do ask them to fill out questionnaires. We fill out questionnaires as ourselves, right? If anybody does come in contact with anybody that does test positive, 2-week quarantines. We are asking that everybody keeps 6 feet of separation. In the event you cannot keep 6 foot of separation, we need to know why, how can we possibly go around it, mitigate it, you know, and if not, do we need to have masks and shields on, just trying to give that, you know, 1 extra layer of protection.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. But did the building project itself undergo any changes because of?
We have not heard anything yet.
Okay, I was just curious.
I think the word everybody's using is optimism.
Okay.
And
All
hoping
right.
this thing's got a vaccine and by
That's
2022
exactly.
and we're out of here.
We don't have to change our building plans for it. Okay, just curious. Okay, go ahead.
So going into Division 12, guys, really the window treatments we have are manual roller shades and motorized roller shades. Motorized, we have not come to an agreement yet. Some people are wanting it tied into the BAS system. Some people are just wanting it controlled by local switches. So we're kind of working through that. Once again, that's one of those design deals, but we'll have both of those across the project. And then the elevators, there will be 3 different elevators. There will be 2 passenger, 1 freight, all of them with a 9-foot door opening, clear space inside of the cab as well. So you get basically a 10-foot cab within that. All of them are electric tractions. Then in fire protection, we've got a, you know, fully sprinkled building, except for our area that has a pre-action system and a clean agent system in it. So that'll be inside of a data center is what that's going to be. So everybody can kind of imagine why we don't really want a wet sprinkle system in that area. Going into plumbing, you'll see up here at the top, buyout has been completed. That package actually went out earlier this month or late part of last month to bid early part of this month. So this buyout has been completed. We're in the middle of trying to select our vendors. But if we do have anybody that's on that supplies anything, here's some of the things we'll be looking at for the project. It could be from storm piping, sanitary piping, domestic water, natural gas, pipe insulation, restroom fixtures, condensate, fuel oil, grease trap, elevator sumps, the grease trap piping and heat tracing, and then subsoil, should be subsoil, not suboil, subsoil drainage system. And that'll be around the multi-purpose room. So once again, buyout has been completed on this one as well. So I'll just give you a rundown. It's 22, 23, and 26 have all been bought out. And that's why you'll see buyout complete. But once again, we will have chilled water piping, heating water piping, refrigerant piping, condenser piping, HVAC. There's going to be 3 air-cooled chillers, 8 crack units, and 11 mini splits. So we'll have quite a bit of the HVAC equipment on here. And then at the very end of it, we'll have test and balance as well. 26, as I mentioned, was bought out as well. But for anybody that's supplying anything, there's PDUs at the data center. There's diesel generators, ATSs, lighting fixtures, lighting controls, docking stations, vertical busways, branch power, floor plugs, which you will have some in the raised access floor. You'll also have some coming through the concrete structure. UPSs, data electrical, or data center electrical, your fire alarm, low voltage, the DAS system, mass notification system, lightning protection, grounding riser, commissioning, facade lighting, and exterior site lighting. So 27, 28, there's the Pella data, AV, security, and communication. I will tell you this is going to be a very heavy security package, and the AV package is not very light either. It will be a pretty big undertaking to get everything that needs to be in the building. And Division 31, so we'll have SUE surveys, we'll have earthwork, soil conditioning, select fill, and spoil haul. So I think we're going to have to go down with this building about 6 feet, and then bring back fill in this area as well. And then Division 32, so you will notice on Villa Rosa, we'll have to get out there and play with a manhole. When we get out there, that is a pavered street. So you have to go back with 12 inches of black basin and pavers up on top. Makes it just a little bit harder in terms of the street repair, but we'll also have to get out in the waiva. And we're anticipating, right, the city of San Antonio always likes it when we do it for them as a mill and overlay from curb to curb, block to block. You'll have concrete drives, stone retaining walls, striping, unit pavers, hammocks, landscape, concrete benches, and these concrete benches will be integral with some wood. There'll be some wood decks, bike racks, tree grates, site signage, and irrigation.
Jeremy, quick question from
Yes, ma'am.
Estella Garcia Perez. She's asking if any of the spoils will be used for the landscaping portion.
So currently they would like for us to use some of it to scrape it up, stockpile it, and then use it for the landscape. I can tell you just on the postage stamp that we are on, I don't know if we're going to be able to make that happen. Pretty much all spoils will be hauled off and new dirt will be brought in. And, you know, topsoil wise, I'm sure we're going to have to bring, you know, your 4 to 5 inches of topsoil as well.
Okay, that was all her questions.
Okay, going to 33. So site utilities, right? We're going to have domestic, fire, storm, sanitary. There's going to be a bioswale, site lighting, and electrical duct make as well. The storm tie-in, we're actually tying into a grate that is existing, and it goes right into the San Pedro Creek. So as you can imagine, our SWIP plan is going to have to be very tight, as we don't want to just dump a bunch of stuff in the middle of the brand new San Pedro Creek renovation. And then this job will be utilizing BIM and VDC. We will have that headed up by our HVAC guys. This kind of just shows you this project, right, is going to be overall 50 million plus, you can see 27% of projects basically use that. That process, if nobody's been a part of a project that's used them, right, it is highly beneficial in a lot of different ways, but really helps you bring the project to life when you're looking to see that. And then some of the things we use BIM VDC is job pursuit modeling, renderings, phasing logistics. So actually the logistics plans you saw earlier were done by our BIM VDC guys. 3D printing, RFP response and consulting, constructability reviews, and y'all can read the rest of that list, but there's quite a bit of different things we can do with it to help enhance the message needed to get across to either your consultants or your owners at that same time. And other than that, that is all I've got, guys. Anybody got any questions?
Let's see. Is that just for the novice at this, the BIM and VDC, what is that exactly? The name of a company, or is that an acronym?
No, ma'am. It's a process. It's a computer process. Basically, and then you'll scan an area, or you put it in through, and then you can run like all your overhead piping, your electrical, your duct work, and basically you hand these to your prefab shops, is what and you say, okay, manufacture this amount of duct and this orientation of it. And it comes already prefabbed, and that way we don't have what we call clashes, where the electrical guy and the duct guy trying to run in the same spot, and then we're having to answer the next 2 days.
So it helps you lay out the puzzle.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that way there's okay. Wow, that's really cool. It's really cool. Okay, let's see. Stella's asking, do you conduct safety meetings daily, weekly?
So we do have a daily huddle. We also have a weekly safety meeting. That weekly safety meeting we will hold with our foreman. We then hand the foreman a topic for that week. And we ask them that they go with their, all of their party. They are to review that. Everybody's to sign that. That is to be turned into us. We have also implemented, if there is any more than 25 people for one company on site, they must have a site safety representative on site full time. That person will need to have an OSHA 30. If you have less than that, we ask that you have at least one person with an OSHA 30 out there, just to make sure that we've got safety covered. That is one of our big sticking points that we do push out in the field.
She's also asking, do all contractors have to do a project orientation upon arrival?
Correct. Everybody must check in with us. This project, actually everybody will be badged as part of the UTSA program. One of their requirements is, for example, forklifts. So if you're going to be running a forklift and you have a cat out there, but the training that you received was on a Genie, you must go get certified on that piece of equipment, that model number.
Oh, wow.
Have the syllabus and the sign-in sheet that shows that that person went through everything, and also must be completed within 4 years of the start of the project.
Wow. Very specific. Okay, and Daniel's asking, Daniel Salinas, our president, he said, what is the project duration?
Project duration is to be December 2020 to July 2022.
Yes. Okay.
And I can tell you guys, in terms of final drawings will be coming out January to February, right? We start in December. That'll be with some early release packages, but full 100% CDs won't come out until January, February, and we will buy out everything at that time. We will, release certain packages before that. So I would say just keep your eyes out before that, earthwork, site utilities, and that kind of thing.
Do you normally post your bids in what system?
So we will post through the Express paper. It'll come out in the paper for a day and also be online for 14 days. And then we have everything on Building Connected at that time.
Oh, that's right, Building Connected. Okay. So for future projects, it's probably even good that they get on your list by contacting you so that they can.
Right, and I will say that Building Connected does a very good job of asking the qualifications when you sign up, if your company is not signed up already. So that basically whenever I go in there and I go to Division 7 and I say I'm doing waterproofing, if you were a waterproofing contractor registered inside of Building Connected, it automatically pulls up. We're not the contractor that uses Building Connected. I can tell you a lot of the other bigger ones around town are as well. And it'll automatically generate that up, and we can hit, yes, invite this company, and it goes in, and you've got a list of people in there from whoever you said it is. It's your estimating department, the presidents, the admins, whoever you would like to get the invites.
Which is why it's really important that they check off every single type of line of business that they are available for when they're registering. Okay. And then Estella's asking, does every company employee have to have an ID badge?
Yes.
And also a background check and a drug test.
So we ask that you fully vet your employees. There will be certain parts of this project, and I can't say a whole lot more than that will require a little bit more in-depth checks, background checks, and that kind of thing. But yes, every employee will be badged 100%.
But you're saying as far as the background and drug test, it just depends on what part of the project they're involved with?
The drug test and stuff, we would say that's, fully vetting your employees, right? We don't tell you to come on my project, you have to have a drug test right now. But background checks and that kind of thing, it's something that we look at the company to administer themselves. Now, if there is an accident or something of that nature, right, we do ask that a drug test, be done.
Okay. I have a question for Bruce. Are you available still?
Yes.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Okay. Just because recently we as an association have been notified about different disparity studies that are going on with SAWS and Bear County, and the city has asked, for feedback. So I'm wondering, with regard to UTSA, and I know some of our members have put this in front of us, but regard to the 21.1% hub. So is that number reached by just you all contacting that percentage, or is it actually the ones that are put on the project that meet that percentage?
It's actually the ones that are put on the project and it's accounted through payment.
Okay.
So we utilize the B2G system to actually make sure that payment and that goal is being done.
Okay. So it's actually a true chosen hub working on this project have to meet.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. And we do random audit checks on site too.
Okay.
And then with the disparity study, I don't know if you know that, but the state of Texas, we did our disparity study in 2009, and we do it as a state, not just as an entity. So the next one probably won't come up until new legislation suggests that we should do another actual disparity study, because it's really different, because our legislation is dedicated to actual state law that we have to follow.
Yeah, yeah, that's written a different way. Mhm.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, thank you so much, because I know that some members want to know that information. And actually, this video will go on our website for maybe those that couldn't make today. They can, look at it, listen to it at their convenience. So I think it's important to cover that. Jeremy, I think this is for you. Larry Ibarra is asking, is this a ROCIP project?
Yes, it is a roast project.
Yes, okay. And just a personal point of just your explanation at the beginning about the different campuses and all that you have done in these, what was it, 106 years?
Yes, ma'am.
The different things that have been built. So, so personally, Tracy and I were excited because she's got a son at Texas Tech. I have a daughter at UT, and then now a son at UTSA. So I feel like you've covered us completely, given shelter to our children. So we appreciate that. Covering all those schools and all the other amazing projects. That was exciting. Just very impressive. Let's see. Okay, one more. Does Whiting Turner use a payment system that we have to register with once awarded a contract?
So our payment system, we run through our internal system, right? We don't have a third-party payment system. We will ask that each person fills out a direct deposit form so that we can get you paid quicker. So we are headquartered in Baltimore, and as you can imagine, Baltimore to Texas in terms of mail, that takes a few days. So if we can get you on the direct deposit system, we can speed that up just a little bit. The other thing is all of our contracts are paid when paid. So once we get payment from UTSA, your checks are cut within 2 days of us getting our payment.
So we'll come after Bruce if there's some delays in payment.
Yeah, Bruce, it's all your fault.
It's all
Yes,
your
it's always my fault. It's okay.
You notice I let you take the blame there really quick.
Hey, that's all right. Look, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help with solutions.
Everything is always Bruce's fault.
But you get the big money, Bruce,
Ah,
All righty. Well, this is very enlightening, thorough. I feel like I've learned a lot about the different divisions. I've not seen it laid out that way before, so that was fascinating. And like I say, Jeremy, Bruce, this will play again. We also highlighted in our newsletter, just so those that missed the information live can go back and revisit it. But we have your contact. We will get that shared with those that showed interest, and yeah, just try to keep the lines of communication open, help you get that hub percentage that you need. Do our best to help with that. And unless anyone else has a quick question, I think we'll let everyone go and get back to their morning. Is there anything else, gentlemen, that you wanted to add?
Nothing on my side. I appreciate everybody taking time to listen and kind of go through this.
and I would just like to say thank you to everybody for being a part of this. And if you ever want to do any other kind of work at UTSA, just reach out to me. We have a whole bunch of different projects that are going on. We would love to have you involved on.
That sounds like a great way to end this. Future optimistic projects. Let's keep moving. All righty, everyone. Thank you for your time and attention and the great questions. And enjoy the rest of your day. If any of you can pop back on this evening, we're having a Hispanic Heritage Mixer networking virtual event. So we'd love to see you. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Take care.